Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Vinny here with another great business to discuss on this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Sergio, and he's selling his Amazon fulfillment by merchant business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Welcome to the show, Sergio. How are you doing?
Hi Vinny, thanks. I'm good, thanks.
Fantastic. Yeah, so we're going to talk about your business. It's a really exciting one to talk about as well today. I'm just going to go over a brief summary of the listing just for our listeners. So today's listing is an Amazon FBA and an e-commerce business in the home niche, and it was created in 2014, December. The average monthly revenue for the business is $12,783, and it makes an average of $2,521 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are the Amazon Seller Central account alongside a massive number of 12,521 SKUs, a primary domain on all of the site content and files. There's also a secondary domain that's used as a 301 redirect, an email list with roughly 300 subscribers, a trademark, a variety of social media accounts, website source code and custom plugins that are useful and helpful for the business model, a bunch of SOPs to help the buyer ease into and transition into the business, and over 4,000 images in print size with a commercial license. Please note that inventory isn't normally included in the listing price, and further details can be provided to active buyers. You can head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 48653 to learn more about the business. If you want to start your due diligence, just remember to unlock the listing first. So yeah, that's the lowdown of your business, Sergio. Let's talk about you and your background. Can you tell me about how you got into the world of online businesses? Was this introduced to you by a friend or something that you discovered by yourself?
So I was passionate about computers basically since I was young. And when I first found out about the internet, I was really interested about it. And since high school already, I was involved in web development, which then became my profession. I'm actually a software developer right now. But I've always had an interest for business. So before doing this business, I was involved in a number of projects which were all just online, so without any physical product part. I had affiliate websites, social media, similar products like platform for mountain bike enthusiasts, and so on. So I had this experience before. Some of them went okay. I've even had an exit. I've sold a business before on my own, not through Empire Flippers, and it was 10 years ago. So I don't even know if you guys existed back then. So I have this kind of experience. And yeah, so basically that's my background. This will also be relevant, I guess, in the next questions. The fact that I'm more oriented towards software.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it sounds like you've dabbled in quite a bit of, like you say, trying to find different ways to create side income to get extra
Exactly,
revenue.
yeah. I've always had side hustles, I guess you could call them. And this one is also still a side project. I had a period of about 6 months last year when I quit my job because I had gathered enough money from Q4 of 2018 from this business to have like some reserve to be able to quit my job. But then after 6 months, I realized at that time I couldn't grow it enough to sustain my lifestyle. And then I got a job again.
I see. That's a really interesting bring up there. It sounds like this business has the potential to completely replace your full-time income, maybe under the right hands or someone who grow it to the next stage, which is something that we'll explore on in the interview. I just want to bring it back then to the start of this business. I mean, like, where did you get the inspiration to come up with this FBM business in the home niche? Like, where was the spark for that?
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, before this project, I've only worked. Basically, I ran away from physical products. I was always thinking that managing returns and inventory and so on. But at one point, through some friends, so as a background, in the years before 2014, when I launched this business, I've worked a lot in e-commerce as a software developer. So I've built a number of online stores for various clients. So I had this experience in creating websites for e-commerce. And my friends and everybody knew that I was doing that. So one of my friends made the connection and he recommended me a guy who had this workshop of doing some print-on-demand products. And he wanted to expand his distribution, to sell them on more channels. And he didn't have experience in online. So this friend made the connection and said, hey, I have this friend, me, who has experience with building e-commerce stores. So why don't you have a talk? So I went to the workshop and saw the products. And they were very interesting with some unique aspects that I haven't seen before. And I saw there's a potential here, so let's try it out. So basically, I considered doing a website first for these products, but like at the same time, a different network of people that I had, I found out about Amazon. It was, at least in my area, it was the beginning of people knowing that you can sell on Amazon, basically that there's the ability to be a third-party seller on Amazon. And there were various stories about successful people who already had great results by listing their products to millions of Amazon customers. So I started researching that part and opened an Amazon seller account. I guess my experience as adding products and stuff like that was helpful because it was very easy to upload a flat file on Amazon and list a few thousand SKUs already from the first day.
Right, that's excellent. I just want to sort of ask a further question then, because that explains sort of how you stumbled into or how you decided on Amazon FBM as your business model. But why did you choose this niche in particular, the home niche?
Because my supplier, so basically the person who I was introduced to back then, that was what he was manufacturing, home decor products. So I didn't really have much of a choice of choosing the niche. Personally, not very passionate about like home design, home decoration, and so on. But I just saw a business opportunity. I've imagined that people will like those products. And I knew that the competition was very low. They were like innovating products. And it still is. The competition is low. And there is room in the market.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point that you raise us. I mean, like you said, there's plenty of potentially good business opportunities out there, but I think sometimes to continue growing a business, you do need that passion for it. And I think it's interesting that you were able to acknowledge that this was a really good business opportunity for you, but not necessarily your passion. I guess that sort of naturally leads me to asking, why are you selling the business right now then, instead of continuing to grow it?
Mm-hmm. That's one aspect. It's a good point there, that it's not really my passion. So basically, like I said, I'm a software developer and I've even tried a few projects before in the software niche, which have failed. And seeing that this physical product business, which was on the side, is starting to grow, And to make money, basically, I've invested more and more time in it with the idea that I will get business experience from this project. It's learning more. It was more this kind of experience for me. I'm not imagining myself running this business 5 years or 10 years from now, even if it will be making millions. It's not really my passion. So my goal for next year is I've already started another side project in the software area, and I want to invest in that and grow that project because that is actually my passion right now. And also, I guess, secondary level, I like to keep my personal and the professional lives as separate as possible, but at this moment, I have a small daughter and my wife is pregnant with my second daughter, which is on the way, thank you, is due in December. So I will have some, my personal life will need more and more time in the medium term, I guess. And I'm sure I won't be able to focus on this business as much as I did before.
Yeah, for sure. Like one kid is a handful enough to have two, basically, and no more free time. So yeah,
especially while they're small, like in the first 2-3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So completely makes sense what you're saying there. So let's just touch on your experience then, because you were saying that this whole, like your original intention for this business was a bit of a learning experience for you anyway, so that you could continue maybe building other businesses. So for this particular FBM business, what did you learn while you were building it? Like, what did you feel some of the strategies that really worked for you when you were building this one?
So yeah, I've tried out a lot of different strategies. Mainly from the beginning, I've started doing Amazon PPC as a marketing strategy, which is still like, I don't have exact numbers, but it's like probably 90% of the marketing cost right now. Yeah, from there, of course, I've learned the whole structure of campaigns with keywords and how to optimize them and all that flow. I've come like for at least a year now. I guess I have the winning recipe for PPC for this business. It's profitable for a long time now. Apart from that, on the website part, I've tried Facebook ads, Google ads. I've learned a lot from those. Unfortunately, at this time, these channels I couldn't make them profitable. So the last effort I made with Facebook ads was in the first half of this year or even earlier, like in spring. Since then, I'm only focusing on organic traffic from Google search or social media, where I also, I guess, had some good experiences. And an important part of what I'm doing in this business is automation. Because of my passion for software, I've always tried to have at the lowest amount of work from me as a human or from the VA, and to make the computers do as much of the work as possible. So that's why I've created some custom WordPress plugins. The site is on WordPress WooCommerce. I've created some custom plugins for the management of the orders, for creating shipping labels, for adding new products, to make the job as easy as possible for the person who is doing this. So the software is doing most of the job.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds like you've really put those software programming and engineering skills into use there. You built a whole new plugin just for this, which is excellent stuff.
Yeah, for a lot of time, I've insisted on not hiring a VA and doing everything automated. But then I realized there are things that need a human brain to make them work.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look on the other side. I mean, because you've just described some of the things that really helped you and that worked for this FBM business.
So being a print-on-demand business, I've realized that some of the products, basically the images that get printed, they blow up. Basically, they start selling really good. Some of them not. And this wasn't I couldn't explain this with my own understanding because maybe there were images that I liked very much and they didn't work. Others that I didn't like so much, but they sold very good. So I came up with a strategy to, when I see a product that is going really well, to search for similar images with similar themes, add those. And that proved to be working. It's a big reason of the growth in revenue in the last year, adding new products periodically. For creating the images, I've created some of them with some Photoshop knowledge that I have, but more recently I'm hiring contract-based people for creating new images. That's a strategy that works. Adding every month I'm adding new products to the line, and it's not such a big effort because that automated process to add new products.
Yeah. What did you try that actually just didn't work?
Strategies that didn't work. Like I said, I've tried Facebook ads, a number of strategies of Facebook ads, like video, dynamic product ads with carousel, and so on. I've tried a bunch of audiences. Started with general audiences that didn't prove to be profitable. Then I said, okay, let's target people who might be interested in a specific theme of images that are printed. That also, I guess, brought very few sales. Maybe could be profitable, but there was very few traffic from that. In the last few months, I ran a Facebook retargeting campaign. So the organic traffic that came on the site, then they would get ads with the exact products that they looked at when getting on a site. That proved to be profitable. And it's still running, but it's spending very few dollars and bringing very few sales. So that's pretty low level. Then with Google Ads, I've also tried a few strategies with that. I have the Google Shop Manager or something like that, I think it's called. I've added all the products in Google, so I can also do product ads on Google. Tried that out. Some sales came, but it was also not profitable. I guess on this side, there is potential if someone comes up with a better strategy. I guess they can grow doing this kind of ads.
Okay, yeah, that's covered a lot of ground there, and you touched on definitely a lot of points I will explore later on in the interview. Sergey, I just want to talk about marketing now. What do you currently do in terms of marketing?
Okay, so like I said, the Amazon PPC, Amazon Ads, is the main channel right now because the Amazon sales channel is 95% of the revenue right now. So almost all the marketing money goes on Amazon on doing ads, which are basically sponsored products. That's the only ads type that I'm doing. I've tried the sponsored brands. They weren't so profitable, but with sponsored products, it's going well right now. It's like less than 10%. ACOS is the true ACOS, like in relation to the whole amount of revenue. It's like less than 10%, the amount spent on ads there. Other than that, I'm using a software tool called Later.com, which automates posting on social media. For the post content, they are all images, and the images are created from the product images with some Photoshop actions to put them in various lifestyle situations. So everything is automated here almost every day. My VA runs these Photoshop actions to create like 100 images and then programs these posts on Later.com. So they are posted like 7 or 8 times every day on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And from this organic channel, there is some amount of traffic coming to the website, which some of it converts to sales.
For sure. I think you mentioned you've got a VA, obviously helps you with the social media scheduling and stuff as the owner. What's the type of work that you do on the site for maintenance right now on, say, a day-to-day basis?
Not much work on the website. I guess updating the plugins and WordPress version every 2 weeks. Other than that, I'm involved in adding new products. That process is this plugin that automates adding the products is like not 100% finished. So at the time I'm the one using it. I haven't outsourced this yet to the VA, the process of adding new products. So this would be an activity that I am doing, I guess, once or twice a month, and it takes 1 or 2 hours. Other than that, it doesn't take time. There isn't maintenance to do on the website.
Okay. Sergio, if you did stay with the business, what would some of the ways, how would you try to grow it?
An important way I would grow it, I guess the first thing is going forward with the pretty recent strategy of finding best-selling images and adding them to the collection. That proved to be the biggest factor of growth in the recent months. Other than that, to increase profitability, I would focus on Amazon FBA more. I've done experiments with FBA in the past. The big challenge here is to choose the products that will sell. Being a print-on-demand business with 12,000 SKUs, you can probably imagine that most of the SKUs have 1 or 2 sales. But there are some best-selling that are have 20, 30 sales in a month. So that's the secret there, to make a strategy like a formula of what to send to FBA, so that you won't remain with products in stock that won't. As we speak, a stock of products is on its way to FBA. I've sent a pallet last week to the US. And another one of my experiments that I hope will go well, I've chosen some products that went really well in the last 3 months, and I've sent them to FBA. This way, the profit margin will grow with about 10-12%. So it's pretty important. And this way, you can invest more in marketing to grow the business if the profit margin is higher. Okay, apart from that, another interesting way to grow the business would be to add other types of products, maybe complementary or in the same niche. I even have a list that I can provide of ideas, of product ideas that I've come across but didn't have the chance, the time, the energy to implement, to
That's
test
great.
out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like there's plenty of avenues there to explore. Like you say, the FBA angle definitely sounds like it's worth expanding on and experimenting to test out different marketplaces. So yeah, and like you say, it's really exciting that you've got lots of different products as well that potentially be added to the list to grow the revenue as well, which is awesome. But the thing is, obviously, with all businesses, there's always an inherent risk, right? So what do you think are some of the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
So an important risk here that most of the revenue is based on Amazon. So you have to follow Amazon's rules and to adapt to all the changes that come there. Of course, Amazon has the interest of you doing well because they earn from this. But from time to time, there are moments when you have to adapt. For example, even recently, they've changed the return policies and all of my products switched to automated returns. I had a flow previously of doing the returns manually and managing them so I lose as little as possible. And this thing with automated returns was an inconvenience. But then through research, I found out that I can find a workaround and actually my products don't have to be automated. But I don't know, if there comes a point when there isn't this workaround, there would be a problem there, maybe. Okay, other than this, yeah, so on Amazon there are various aspects that you have to take care of with, like the metrics for FBM, the feedback. If you have too much negative feedback, you will get penalized by Amazon. So that is one risk. I guess one risk, which is pretty small, is that, like I said, a way of growing the business is adding best-selling images that are best-selling on other websites or with other brands, you could recreate them or find them somehow and add them to your collection. In that case, there would be a risk of copyright infringement where you would have to disable those products. So that could happen. I had one case in the whole history of this business where there was an image I found online and I got a copyright infringement claim on Amazon, and Amazon automatically closed the listings, but it wasn't doing many sales, so that wasn't affect the business much. And yeah, that's what could happen.
Okay, awesome. That's really good information there. Just a few wrap-up questions then, as we head towards the end of the interview. How much support are you offering buyers? Is it the standard 30 days of email and Skype, or is it something different?
Yeah, so I thought of this aspect because this business is pretty unique. It's not your standard business with stocks and sending shipments to FBA and so on. And it has some unique aspects, and the problems may appear on a longer time span. I'm willing to provide 2 to 3 months of availability. So if there are questions, I'm available to reply by email, or if things are too complex, I can do a Skype call or something. Yeah, so especially, for example, on using the custom plugins on the website, which are involved also in the Amazon part, because one of the plugins is for the FBM shipments. So for that, I have SOPs for everything with video and audio. I hope they're pretty clear, but if there are questions, I'm available.
Awesome. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic.
Like I said, I want to build a software business, nothing about this side.
Okay, great. So the last question for you. If you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, Sergiu, why do you think that this business is worth buying?
So this business is very versatile model of business. And especially if you're passionate with the home design, home decor part, I think it's a great way to put your maybe creativity to work. Also, even creativity in creating new products or in marketing. I think there are many ways to get a lot of satisfaction from this business. And of course, you can see the numbers. They're good. You will already have profit from day one.
I think you covered most of it, and there's obviously, there's a lot of, so from what I've gathered from our interview today, there sounds like there's a lot of business potential in the right hands. If someone is passionate about the home niche and especially about the product line as well, especially if they can perhaps explore the FBA aspect even further, I think this could be a great business for the right buyer to pick up, especially someone who doesn't mind getting stuck in and wants to put a lot of work in to develop it. Or on the other hand, it could be a good business for someone else who wants to invest in a different type of asset class to have a bit of side income coming in as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's your decision what to do, because at this moment I had periods of time when I just didn't have time to get involved in the business, and it runs in the background. Everything is set up. You can just leave it this way and it will probably not grow very much, but it will stay at the same level, or even it will grow organically. So it's your decision if you want to just have a semi-passive income or you want to grow it to make millions. Like I said, it's versatile.
Okay, fantastic. Sergiu, is there anything else that you'd like to share that you think I might have missed?
I don't think if they're relevant, like all the assets, like I said, there are SOPs, there are thousands of images. So for example, let's say you want to switch the supplier for some reason. My recommendation is to go with this supplier, but of course, if you want, you can switch to a supplier. Maybe you find a cheaper one or something. You will have all the resources to do so. You will have all the current images that are in the catalog, which in my opinion is an important asset. The VA will also come with the new buyer. She knows about this and it's no problem.
Okay, Great. Sergio, thank you so much for joining me on today's interview. Hope that your business gets picked up soon.
Okay, thanks, Vinny. Good talk.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 48653. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.